Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of The Crazy World We Die In. Today I'm going to be talking about the recent passing of Dame Maggie Smith, who you may know from the Harry Potter series. You may also remember her from Sister Act and from Downton Abbey. So if this is the first time you've been on my channel, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Dame Maggie Smith died peacefully in hospital on the 27th of September 2024. I must admit, this passing is quite sad to me. So I initially remember Dame Maggie Smith from Sister Act. It's a film that I loved watching when I was a child, and it was a really sad time. So Dame Maggie Smith has been doing stage and screen work for 7 decades. She has an extensive library of work, and in this video I'm not going to talk about every element as it will be too much to talk about. I'm just going to be talking about what's relevant to me. So looking at Dame Maggie Smith's career, she has numerous accolades. She has 2 Academy Awards, 5 BAFTAs, 4 Emmys, 3 Golden Globes and 1 Tony. I think that highlights how brilliant she was in her work. She is also one of the few actors or actresses who's won an Academy Award, an Emmy and a Tony. So her stage career started in 1952. So from a personal point of view, Dame Maggie Smith was born in Ilford, and that wasn't too far from where I grew up. So I have quite a soft spot for her. From Ilford, she moved to Oxford, and that's where she started on the stage. So in 1952, she made her professional debut on Broadway. And around 1962, she caught the eye of Laurence Olivier, and he invited her to become part of his new National Theatre Company. So a film that I've seen quite a lot over the years, especially when I was younger, was Clash of the Titans. It was one of the films that I watched alongside Jason and the Argonauts. And from doing my research, I realised that Dame Maggie Smith was actually in that film. I would never have known, and if I didn't read up about it, I would never have known. So further down the line, in 1991, she actually starred in Hook, which was a film with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman. I think Julia Roberts was also in that film. And then we moved to 1992, which is Sister Act. Now, Sister Act had quite a good cast. So who was in that film? You had Whoopi Goldberg, who played the main character. You had Harvey Keitel. Obviously, you had Dame Maggie Smith. Bill Nunn, I believe, was also in the film as well. So it was quite a good film, quite easy to watch. I loved it. Good songs. If you haven't seen Sister Act, where have you been? You need to go and see it. There's been a sequel. I think a second sequel was actually scheduled to be made. But there's also been a musical in relation to Sister Act. So one of the things that I learned about Sister Act, that one of the writers of the screenplay was Carrie Fisher. And this surprised me because I just weren't expecting it. So Carrie Fisher, we all know from Star Wars. Yes, she was one of the screenwriters for Sister Act. So if you didn't know, now you know. Like me, if you're a fan of the film House Party, one of the characters from House Party was called Shireen, played by AJ Johnson. Now, she's also got a really small role in Sister Act. She's one of the dancers. I think she's with 3 other girls. When they're doing that first performance, when they shot everybody and people start walking in from the street, she actually walks in from the street. And then further in the film, I think she's trying to teach some of the nuns how to dance. So if you didn't realize she was in it, now you know. Bette Midler was actually the first person that was going to play the main part, but she turned the role down and it went to Whoopi Goldberg. And Harvey Keitel finished shooting this film shortly after filming Reservoir Dogs. Great film, by the way. Now, if I then move on to Harry Potter, now there's been 8 films, 7 books. Harry Potter, absolutely brilliant series. Love the films, love the books even more. So when you think of people who are perfect for the part, J.K. Rowling got it spot on. There is absolutely no doubt that Dame Maggie Smith was the perfect person for McGonagall. And if you've read the books and you see how Professor McGonagall is, you knew that she was the perfect person. What I didn't realize is that she wasn't in all the films. So there was one film that she wasn't in. Do you know what film that was? Thought I'll give you a bit of time to think, but the film that she wasn't in was the 7th film, so that's Deathly Hallows Part 1. I didn't realise that. I'm going to have to watch it again, and I know I'm going to be looking to try and spot her, but no, that was the film that she wasn't in. And I think Dame Maggie Smith has to be given credit. During the filming of the Harry Potter series, so in Half-Blood Prince, which is the 6th film, she was undergoing chemotherapy for breast cancer. And in the filming of Deathly Hallows Part 2, she had developed shingles but still managed to act and carry out her role. So due to her extensive history, there was various people in the Harry Potter series that she had worked with in other films and media. So for example, Michael Gambon, who played Dumbledore from the third film, she had worked with him in 3 different productions. On a side note, the 27th of September 2024 was the day of Dame Maggie Smith's passing. The 27th of September 2023 was the passing of Michael Gambon. They died exactly a year apart. She also worked with Richard Griffiths, who plays Vernon Dudley. She also worked with Helena Bonham Carter, who plays Bellatrix Lestrange, as well as others. And going back to Deathly Hallows Part 2, so the fight scene that she has with Professor Snape, the writers initially wanted someone else to have that battle with Snape, but J.K. Rowling put her foot down and she said no, the fight should be exactly like how it was, and it should be McGonagall and Snape, and she got her way, and I'm glad she did, because that was one of my favourite scenes of the book. Downton Abbey, I've never actually watched. It is on my list. I do actually have a list of things that I need to watch, and Downton Abbey was in there. I've never seen it, but I've heard brilliant things, and I'm sure when I do get round to watching it, I will appreciate how brilliant she was in it. So guys, that was my tribute to Dame Maggie Smith. Again, there's so much that I could talk about, but I just wanted to keep this to the point about what she meant to me as a person who's a lover of film and TV, again, of a person who absolutely adores the Harry Potter series and Sister Act, and it is a sad time that Dame Maggie Smith is no longer with us. If you like this content, if you could press that subscribe button, press that like button, and if you've got any comments to make, I'll be more than happy to look and respond back to them. Again, it is a sad time that Dame Maggie Smith is no longer with us. Rest in peace. And guys, I will see you on the next episode of The Crazy World We Die In. You take care.